The funniest thing that I found throughout the internet was the amount of people who are willing to shame people over the fact that they are virgins, which I find baffling. If people come to me and shame me that I'm a virgin loser who is staying on his mother's basement, I wouldn't call that shaming, I would call that a statement of fact. The same way I'm Asian is a statement of fact. I am a virgin, and while this isn't really a basement, I'm still staying in my cousin's house, and I'm shutting myself in my room because I'm not interested to go outside. It's not that I'm a vampire and sensitive to sunlight like how most Hikikomoris tend to be. I'm just not really interested to go outside. So yes, if that's what you define as a loser, I am a loser. And if people call me on that again, I just shrug and say, yeah. So? I mean, is that supposed to make you a better person? I think I'm very open to my preference on sitting in my couch, lazily gaming, head patting my waifus, and of course making stupid videos on the internet. I'm still in college and I'm 19 years old, and most people on the internet are gonna be older than me, so people out there who are older than me spend their time on Twitter and comment sections shaming others for being virgins. Also, a liberal cuck who thinks that he's in the right side of history without even understanding how a society works. I don't even have a wife. You can't be a cuck if you don't have a wife. And I'm always on the wrong side of history. What are you talking about? Anyway, shame on me all you want, but I just want to take a moment to ask on the purpose of doing that thing. I'm questioning the action not because I am personally triggered that you did that, but because of the effectiveness and the purpose. I presume that you are the sort of person who goes into strip clubs and score hot chicks every night. Absolutely wonderful. I am happy for you. I'm hoping that you don't get STDs though. I think the best way to personally insult me for being a virgin is if you show pictures of you hanging out with hot chicks so that you can make me really jealous. I'm basically offering you a much better way to insult me because it's clear that shouting virgin basement dwelling hikikomori nerd is getting a bit tiresome. And it seems like my assumption that you're the sort of person who scores chicks in bars is actually correct, and I'm very well happy for you. Oh, you also want to label yourself a feminist and fighting for women's equal rights. Good for you, man. That's a good cause to fight on. I have only one problem though. How far are you going to do this scoring hot chicks so that you are better than me thing? I'm not exactly an expert on this, but if I were going to score hot chicks, the last thing that I'd be concerned about is other virgins. I would be more concerned with the scoring part. You have to take the extra mile to shame others for being virgins too? Is that a part of your grand plan to score the hottest chicks? How about white knighting? It seems like there are people out there online who are willing to defend women regardless of whether or not they're right or wrong, just for the sake of hooking up with them. In fact, some people think that joining feminism and be an actual beta male cuck are very attractive traits for men to have. And if all of those fail, if all of those shaming virgin nerds on the internet and defending the women that you're scoring regardless of whether or not she's right or wrong, all of those aren't enough for you to actually get into her, are you willing to take the higher, more illegal route and force them to be with you? Well, apparently, yes.
Men who accuse Gamergate of misogyny, where are they now? In jail.
So for those of you who don't know, Gamergate is a movement to fight for journalistic ethics in both gaming journalism and mainstream journalism. If you've been following my videos so far, I've been talking about this constantly. If you want to catch up, don't worry, I'll let you off to speed. These men over here claim that Gamergate is not about fighting for journalistic ethics. Gamergate is actually a misogynist hate movement to drive women out of gaming. That sounds terrible. Why would these gamers suddenly hate women? Well, when I found out about this, I asked the same question. Gamers now hate women? Since when? Even back when I didn't know about Gamergate at all, the idea of female gamers are freaking awesome and pretty hot. So why all of a sudden we have these people coming in and saying that gamers really hate women? Oh, it turns out that Gamergate's most common targets, namely Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian, are women. So these gamers are targeting these two women just because they are women. Well, are they really being targeted because they're women? Further investigation revealed that Anita Sarkeesian has opinions that are intentionally inflammatory towards the gamers. If you want to know what those opinions are, just watch my latest video where she is defending me. Zoe Quinn is actually a corrupt game developer who once hijacked the Game Jam which JonTron was in, and both of them advocated for the censorship of the internet. So none of these things are because they are women, but because they're not exactly the best people who do the best actions. And gamers are criticizing them for not being good. But these criticisms are misrepresented as a misogynistic attack towards Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian. They criticize them for being women, daring to come into the male-dominated space, when in reality, it's a lot more nuanced than that. Now, where do these male feminists come throughout all of this debacle? Well, they came in and attacked the people who are involved in Gamergate, calling them a misogynist hate movement by virgin basement-dwelling neckbeards to drive women out of gaming. They do this so that they can appear like they're the good person in the room, because being associated with Gamergate will get you shunned in the industry. Well, there's unfortunately a little bit of a dark secret. These male feminists are actually the ones being a misogynist. Take, for example, Devin Ferrazzi. Refresher, in one of my older videos, this is what Devin Ferrazzi said about the people who are involved in Gamergate.
Arguing with these people, Gamergate, has been eye-opening. A lot of these kids, and they are, without a doubt, largely kids, are simply ignorant. They don't understand the world, and that includes everything from how gaming websites work to how people interact as adult, sexual humans. They're outsiders, losers, weirdos, and freaks. And most of them aren't just male, they're white males. They do it because they have been raised in a world where women are not humans but prizes, and so they can't see them as individuals.
Well, that really aged. Years later, we found out that Devin Ferrazzi is actually grabbing women by the pussy, and these sexual allegations have made him to drop out of his position as the editor-in-chief of Birth Movies Theft. Next one is Jamie Kilstein, who said that Gamergate is about sexism and not ethics in journalism, and rich people are ruining everything. Well, at least I agree on the last part.
Damn these rich people.
He is booted off of his podcast after sexual assault allegations being raised towards him. Next one is Juan M. Thompson. This is pretty freaking weird. This is a guy who says Gamergate is a misogynistic movement, but instead of being outed for sexually harassing women, he's outed for making bomb threats against 8 Jewish communities? What? But the weirdest one has to go with Matt Hickey. Matt Hickey is a tech journalist who is also an anti-Gamergate critic. He is being charged with a decade's worth of rape and sexual assault, spanning the likes of many women. How? He made a fake porn recruitment agency in order to trick women into sleeping with him. I mean, Jesus freaking Christ. How desperate are you for sleeping with 3D women that you have to take those monstrously illegal routes? I think this sort of highlights the huge difference between our ways and philosophies of life. I'm not exactly the sort of person who would score hot chicks, but I don't mind. That doesn't make me a loser. I'm still happy playing video games and head-patting 2D waifus. You are apparently on the mindset that virgin neckbeard Gamergate losers need to get a life, and that life, according to you, is living as sexual predators. Thanks, but no thanks. This brings me to an article that I want to talk about for today. This is also concerning virgins and gamers. So I'm going to ask you guys on what would you choose? Geimu or waifu?
New York teens are too busy playing video games to have sex.
Geimu over waifu, ladies and gentlemen. Learn from the experts so that you don't embarrass yourself to become the next sexual predator. Although the phrase waifu here should be just wife. Geimu over significant others, kanojos, girlfriends, I don't know.
Sure, New York City parents still worry about their teens having sex, drinking, and smoking, but the kids are far more interested in smartphones and video games like Pokemon and Grand Theft Auto. A new survey is found. Nearly half of city teens, 45.6%, spend at least 3 hours a day playing their computer or video games, according to the 2015 Biennial Youth Risk Behavior Survey conducted by the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's up from 41.7% in 2013 and 28.1% in 2005. The city teen rates of game playing is 4 points higher than the national average.
3 hours a day? That's pretty normal for gamers. Come back to me when it's about 6 hours or 12, and you have single girls going into Twitter complaining about men preferring 2D women over real-life women and that they're racist, misogynistic, sexist. Oh! So gamers are misogynistic because people prefer Geimu over girlfriend. Wow! I think we found a problem here, guys. So my question to you ladies is, for your boyfriend, would you rather have Hikikomoris or sexual predators?
At the same time, more city teens are just saying no to sex, booze, and tobacco.
It's finally time where Gen Z realized that the real world is way too harsh and stupid to live your life, for you might as well stay at home playing video and watching YouTube videos from losers like me. Hey, at least it's better than being involved in the Battle of Berkeley.
The percentage of city high schoolers who had sex fell from 31.2% in 2013 to 27.2% in 2015, a record low since the CDC began surveying NIFT through 12th graders in 1997. The rate in the city is a significant 14 points lower than the national average of 41.2%.
So what you're saying here is video games and the internet have successfully reduced the risk of teenage pregnancy.
みんな普段の私を仏頂面って言うけど、ろくにマンコとも叫べない世の中で上手に笑えるわけがないでしょ?
Only 20.9% of city kids said that they had drunk alcohol in the prior 30 days, down from 24.7% in 2013 and 41.8% in 2001.
Damn! The early 2000s must have been really damn insane in New York. I don't know, because I was 3.
The tobacco smoking rate also dropped from 8.2% in 2013 to 5.8% in 2015, a continuation of a downward trend. But 1 in 6 New York City teens, 15.9%, are now using nicotine-laced vaporized products such as e-cigarettes.
Yeah, kids vape more than they smoke. I heard that vaping is much better because the nicotine is better processed through the liquid or something like that. I don't know. Anybody who vape can maybe give their 2 cents on this?
City health officials noted that, given the ease of access to internet and availability of mobile devices, it's not surprising that teens are spending more time playing video games. Officials are concerned that hours of sedentary game playing comes at the expense of healthy exercise.
Well, that is a genuine concern. I really need to jog and exercise more. But 3 hours for video games? A concern? You can spend other times for jogging on that. 3 hours is not 12 or 6. I'm more concerned with how much time they spend on the internet, which is going to be undoubtedly more than 6 or 12.
Meanwhile, city policies banning or discouraging smoking have helped drive down the teen smoking rate, officials said. The decline in tobacco smoking among city teens in recent years is significant and can be largely attributed to comprehensive tobacco control measures implemented, such as restricting access and increasing prices of tobacco, the health department said in a statement.
And they're looking for alternatives like vape. Seriously, anybody who vape? Comments? So, in conclusion, I think the exercise of Geimu over waifus or girlfriends or significant others for just 3 hours per day have successfully reduced teenagers from having sex in high school, therefore reducing pregnancy risk and having less and less sexual predators. Not so sure about the tobacco thing, but less underage drinking is better for everybody, I suppose. And less sexual predators and less teenagers getting pregnant? For once, I would say the future is pretty bright. I hope. Before we end this video, huge thanks to SDraw and Nobody Important for the pledges on Patreon. You guys are fantastic. That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead, click the like button, and subscribe for more. If you wish, you can support me on Patreon. And thanks for watching.